Yo, what's good everybody, King here, and I'm back with another video, and in today's video, I'm bringing you guys a Super People's Ultimate Settings Guide and Optimizations for FPS, and just for um, comfortability and also having good performance as well. Um, I've been messing around with this game a decent bit, and it's pretty fun, so I decided to make a video on it. So the first thing we're going to do is going to hit the Windows key and right click on your super people, then right click on super people again, then then click properties, go to compatibility, make sure you tick it disable full screen. You can run this as admin if you want to, but also make sure you have this on over a high DPI scaling application. And then after that, you are good to go for the first um thing about it. I'm not going to do any like advanced like registry files or anything like that. There's no launch options for the game that I know of that I've tested that worked. I tested DX11, it didn't work. I tested something else and I don't know if they worked, so I'm not even going to include that. So let's get on to the settings you want to have in game. Obviously you want to have full screen, um, whatever resolution you play on. This is my res. I plan slightly stretched 1820. Um, VSync off, smooth rate off, low latency mode. You want to have this on. You can put it on a boost if you would like. I do not because I've tested it, and since my GPU is kind of like my bottleneck, it's kind of making me lose around like 5 to 10 frames when I turn it on. So it doesn't really help um, as much as it should. So the regular mode actually helps. It keeps my frames a little bit more stable, and yeah, that's just how it works for me. It might, if you have a high-end GPU, it'll probably work way better for you, and it'll probably be more better. It'll probably be better because your GPU isn't bottlenecking your CPU, unlike mine. So FOV, it's preference. I believe that anything above 90 should be fine. If you go below 90, you're gonna it's gonna feel weird, like you're not gonna be able to see anything around you. Settings, I literally have everything on very low and disabled except for textures. If you want to have skins show up on your guns and your reticles not like fuzzy or whatever, just so your textures aren't fuzzy, put it on medium. um, you don't need to put it on anything higher. um, you can put it on very low if you don't care about textures at all. I do, so I put it on medium. That's it. Sharpen, I dropped it down a little bit to 1.4. Sharpening feature in this game is really good, and it doesn't really take any frame hit at all. I've tested by the way, also, if you guys didn't know, I tested all of these settings in the practice tool, which if you guys would like to learn how to figure out how to get there, you press this gameplay tab and it would say right here redo the tutorial. It doesn't say that right now because I'm actually already in the tutorial, because that's exactly what I did. But trust me, just go to the gameplay tab and there should be a redo button on the right side right here. You just click on that and it'll put you in the training mode, and you can redo it and replay it whenever you want. If you press V, the default button to change view, it's gonna put you in first person. Uh, that's what I play on. Also, the sensitivities are kind of weird, so I'll get into that in a little bit. But next, let's go over to the next tab. Music, I didn't touch anything at all. They took out all chat, so you can't use that anymore. It was interfering with game chat. You couldn't use game chat and use all chat. You would, it was like kind of like Fortnite is, where there's different channels, and if you clicked one, you couldn't use the other, which didn't make sense. But it's okay because it's not in the game anymore. So vertical sense, you keep that at 50. Don't change it. The recoil is gonna be annoying. You're gonna have to get used to it. But 50 will make it weird. You can adjust it if you want to. You can make it go a little bit higher, but don't make it go lower. It'll feel disgusting. Free aim, driving sense, and ADS sense. These two don't matter for me because I don't drive the car much, and I don't use the regular ADS. I actually use the universal scope because I scope into my guns because I don't like how it makes you soft ADS, which is like you don't ADS all the way in. I like actually being able to ADS and looking through my gun's iron sights or my whatever red dot I have on. So I put it on. There's a keybind you can. I'll show you how to do next, but just get your sense dial down. This is my sensitivity. You don't really have to change anything here. The only thing I would recommend changing probably is crouch to hold and run to toggle. Those are the only two things I changed, and the slide is new, but I haven't tried it out yet. Um, I haven't tried this setting out yet. I'm pretty sure it's only for that one specific Strikeforce class, because he had the slide. Alright, the best and most important part, actually the second most important, because your graphics are always going to be the most important, but the second is your comfortability, and having good graphics is one thing, but being able to perform with these good graphics is another. So, with that being said, let's get into the keybinds. So for the keybinds, I didn't touch anything here. The only thing in this thing I changed was this. I added scroll wheel down to jump only, so I can airwalk. If you didn't know, everyone can airwalk. If you don't know what it looks like, I'll put it in third person. So when you put your gun away, it doesn't matter if you have your gun away. Actually, when you jump, if you press space, as soon as you're coming down, so like, um, there's an apex of your jump. Once you go past the apex of your jump, then you can start airwalking. It's basically like a glide mechanic, almost, but it's very very little glide. There's not a lot of glide. It's not like in the first person game. But it basically makes it easier to get across rooftops and whatnot. So basically if you jump one, you're coming down. After you hit your peak, you press it and you'll airwalk. So that setting, or that feature is nice to have, especially if you play a Strikeforce. It's a guy who can jump really high, and it makes it so you basically always can airwalk if you want to, which removes error. Kind of like how there's b-hopping in other games. This game has airwalking, so I just do it on scroll wheel down because I don't use scroll wheel for anything other than scrolling down and interacting with scroll wheel up, which I'll show you how to do, which is easy. You just double bind it on the side here. But next, keybind, I took off look around. You don't have to. You can change this whatever you want. But this is the really important one here, ADS only. You want to have that on the right click. You want to take it off of aim / scope and ADS only. This is if you want to look down your red dot every time you ADS. When you tap, when you press or tap or hold or whatever, anytime you press right click, it'll put you into your scope, whether in your third person game mode or first person. Which is nice because I hate looking, I hate the tap mechanic, and I just only want to like zoom in with my weapon. And I unbinded something. You just press escape after you click on it to unbind, scroll up and down, just so it doesn't interfere and switch weapons when I'm airwalking or when I'm picking up weapons, and whatnot. Next is the zeroing. You can change this. It was page up and down, but it's hard to press when I'm actually like shooting. So I put it on T and Y. For the healing, you don't need to have any of these healed if you don't want them. You can, which I do recommend to have a keybind if you need them. If you feel like it, it'll make healing a lot quicker in clutch situations. That extra 0.5 seconds or 1 second you spared by instantly clicking that button as soon as you realize you were hurt, instead of going into your inventory and pressing on it, you can use a wheel to heal with. Before you use this wheel, I just want to let you know that there's a weird bug with the wheel that I figured out the solution to, and also the problem of it. So I'm just telling you that now. If you guys experience it, you guys know what the problem is. And if you guys even know what it is, you probably don't, because most people probably don't even know what this wheel exists. So yeah. But we'll get into that after. Sorry, I'm talking a lot. I'm just trying to explain this most. I'm trying to be in depth as possible. Um, if you guys want to skip ahead, you can. Feel free. But let's get straight back into it. I have G on throwables. That's my grenades. So the only problem with that is you have to spam G to cycle. If you want to not have to manually select the grenade that you want to use. But I just do it. So I go into my inventory and then I left click on the grenade in my inventory once, and it'll be selected every time I press G. Unless I press G again and it'll swap or swap it manually. So I usually keep smokes in my hand, so if my teammates get knocked, I can smoke them instantly. This comes in handy. You can also use it if you have class specific nades. Those are pretty OP. If you guys don't know about them, you should use them. Also, if you guys want me to make videos about classes, if you guys enjoyed this game or want to know more about the game, just let me know. I could make more videos about it. I just thought this was helpful because this game is kind of weirdly, I wouldn't say weirdly optimized. I have an older computer, so I can't tell if it's optimized or not. It runs fine on my computer, so I'm guessing it's optimized enough. Not as good as like something like Fortnite, of course, but it's decent. So where was I? I was at throwables. Now the active skills. This is your class. So each class has a skill. Mine is a nuke, so I just nuke this building. I'll just press it. So this makes it so you can. I put on my side button. Makes it easier for me. If you guys want to copy these settings, you can. I recommend, if you don't know anything about settings, I recommend copying them and then changing them as you're in the training, feeling how it, have a feel for it. If you guys don't want to copy them, just use your own. But these are just some information and also my key binding specifically. But let's go down to the main part that I was getting out here. Before we get into that, let's get into the super capsule keybind. So this just makes it so you have, okay, so if you guys play the game, you have 5 different types of super capsules, I think, and then this condenses them all into one button. So I just press 5. If I ever have any pills in my inventory, it'll automatically use them. It makes it easy so you don't have to manually click on each pill and use them. You can just press 5 and it'll use the super capsules. But the most important healing bind in the game, in my opinion, is the custom item palette. It's like the heal wheel if you played Apex before. This, as you can see on the right, it's just a wheel of heals. You can also customize these personally, which I'll show you how to do, and I'll show you a bug with this. So what I found was that if you bind this to any number 1 through 8 that is already assigned to something on your wheel, it will not use you. You cannot use the wheel at all, and it'll just say this specific thing. You don't have any more of these specific items. Like let's say if I put it on 4 and then on my palette 4 is a defense bar, it'll say you cannot use the defense, you don't have a defense bar anymore. So basically what you have to do is whatever number you want to use this on, you'd have to take off of that slot of the actual wheel. So I'll show you what to do. So basically, before we get into that, just bind the heal button to whatever you want. It's 4 by default in Apex. I put it on my side button on my mouse, just so I didn't have to go through the hassle of rebinding the things. And also, I'm used to using my mouse side buttons anyways. And then also, before we move on from that, this is literally this and your push to talk button, which is somewhere down here. You can look for yourself. Wasting too much time here explaining all this stuff. Sorry. But yeah, crafting. You want to craft, you at least want to have a bind for craft item 1. If you want to craft quicker, have it on 4. You don't have to combine these, you can only put it on 1. It'll craft the first thing, but I have it on all of them just because, why not? Next, crosshair mode, I have it on green. It doesn't matter what you put it on, doesn't do anything. I didn't change anything here except for inventory scroll speed. I maxed that out completely so you can scroll down quicker. And I think if you A/B strafe while you're looting, you can also make it so there's no delay when you click. So you can spam click something if you A/B strafe very, very quickly left and right. Just a tip Random tip, by the way. I don't know if that has anything to do with inventory scroll speed or not. Um, with in-game settings here, the location ping, basically there's a big beacon when you ping, and I have it disabled to only when I'm parachuting, so you can see where you want to go. Your teammates can see where you want to go. Well, I can see the beacon only when I'm parachuting, because when I'm in a fight, I don't want to see a big beacon on a ping. I only want to see that ping. Um, so yeah, and then display networks. This shows your ping in game on the top left. Um, you can enable that if you want to. You don't have to. Everything else there, I didn't touch because it doesn't. I don't really know what they do. I haven't tested them at all. These are map settings. This damage log, you want to keep that on. The scroll control. This is map settings. Auto climb ladders. You don't want that because you don't want to auto climb a ladder in a fight and just die. Custom item palette. This is what I was talking about here. So this is that wheel I was talking about over here when you bound it to your healing thingy. So this wheel, like I said, there's a bug. So let's say I have my bind for my wheel on 1. If I have anything in the 1 category, when I press 1 on my keyboard, it will not pull up the wheel and I will not be able to use the wheel. So you have to, whatever button that is, so let's say if you use 4, take something off of 4 and then just change this so you only put your heals and your energy bars. You don't need your capsules because remember we set up that single use keybind with the super capsules already, so you don't need to bind those. So you should only have um, those things on there, and then you're pretty much done. That's pretty much it with the game. Specifically with what you can do that's non-extra. There are extra tweaks that you can do. I can make a guide on tweaks in general if you want them, but I don't think I need to because there's many people who do it already that I watch, and you should probably watch it too. So I'll just leave a link to it, and you can watch tweak videos if you guys want some to make your game run better than what I've showed you today. So yeah, that's pretty much it with this video. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I hope you guys found it helpful, and I hope you guys get a lot of kills with these new best settings to use in Super People. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching the video, and check out all my socials and all of my different socials. Everything will be in the description down below, and I will see you guys in the next video, which will be another Apex video. And possibly more Super People in the future. If you guys would like to, let me know. And I'll see you guys later. I'm out. Peace.